We have now concluded the regular season. Disappointing loss for Iowa against Nebraska. We aren't going to Indy this week.
We are not. But you might be going to a good bowl game, so that's all that matters.
I think Music City is the most ideal for fun and like a good matchup.
100%. If I'm being honest with you, selfishly, I would love for them to go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Because
Would you go to it?
So it's 3 hours away from me, but it's on a Friday at noon, so I wouldn't be able to go. But I'd be able to drive to Charlotte that night and rip it up with them after they win.
Do you stay? How long do you stay after for a bowl game?
It's up to you.
Oh, that's right.
Like
Season's
the
over.
team goes home the next day, but you can stay really as long as you want. I remember I stayed in Florida for a couple days after. We all did. We all stayed in Florida. All the seniors did just to hang out. But yeah, dude, I'm sure they'll probably all hang out. The seniors will probably stay back for a little bit just to hang out. But that'd be sweet. But it's looking more and more like the Music City Bowl. It also depends on how the championships go this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Because after this past weekend, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, right now it looks like Purdue will probably go to the Citrus Bowl. Outback Bowl is called like ReliaQuest now. It looks like that's going to be Illinois.
Stupid.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, they're changing all the traditional names up.
I wonder how far of a drive Tampa is. Maybe I'll go see Mike.
Oh man, Mike was fun. We were at that game, Illinois Northwestern this weekend. Great guy. Shout out Mike Marquez.
Great guy.
So that leaves Duke Mayo Bowl or Music City. But Music City, I mean, we technically got picked, but we didn't get to play in that one. The year Mizzou sent all their guys home for Christmas and got COVID.
Yes, that was ridiculous. So I'm trying to think. Honestly, I'm sure it's going to be the Music City Bowl. Honestly, because of that. Because they picked us, they were excited for us to come, and then it just didn't work. So I'm sure that now that we're up again, I'm sure they're really fun. I mean, Iowa travels great for bowl games.
Yeah.
Especially Nashville. People are going to want to freaking ride there.
Yeah, I think it's like right around New Year's too. So you basically parlay it with some New Year's action.
I think it's the 31st.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which is sweet. You're freaking spending New Year's in Nashville.
Yeah, that's a city I want to go to.
Me too.
Dude, the bowl game will be interesting now that we got to get into some portal news. That was the biggest thing. Well, first off, this is what I realized today. The thing that hurts the most about not going to Indy is Saturday. We could have had World Cup go right into Big 12 championship, right into SEC, and then right into our game.
Yeah, dude. It would have been pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
That would have been so fun.
So fun. We had a freaking Airbnb ready to roll. We were gone. I hate to say this, so I didn't want to say this in the last show. I didn't say it. But if you think about it, this season was so whack in the sense that every year, like every normal Iowa year, we beat Iowa State, we lose to Purdue, we beat Nebraska.
Yeah.
This year we lost to Iowa State, we beat Purdue, and lost to Nebraska. It was like once
Illinois as well.
Yeah, and once we beat Illinois.
No, we lost.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Minnesota's the only way that stayed the course there.
Yeah. Wisconsin's always kind of a toss-up for the most part, just because we're so similar. But after the Iowa State loss and the Purdue win, I was a little nervous about Nebraska.
It was such a backwards year.
Backwards.
It was so tough. Once DeJean went down, it was like TJ Hall, he'll be a great player one day. It's definitely tough when you come into the season fourth string corner, you aren't getting those same reps. Like you could see Kayvon have to come up and relay the message of what they're switching to.
Yeah, it's tough. And the kid he was guarding was like an LSU transfer. He
Yeah.
was pretty sick.
The guy, I mean, he declared for the NFL immediately after.
Oh, I don't blame him. And the coach, when they went into halftime, they asked him what his offensive plan was, and he goes, pass matchups. That's the whole game right now. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had himself a day.
Yeah, he did. He was good.
Yeah. It's like I think it was like first play, basically. That was their 87-yard touchdown.
Yeah. I'm sure as soon as they saw him come in, they game plan that right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Launch it deep. Yeah, it was tough. I thought we were going to come back. The Arlen play, he was in bounds.
That was, dude, like insane. I don't know. Well, apparently, I guess I've heard from multiple people that it wasn't that he was in bounds. I heard it was that he didn't have control of the ball.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, how do you overturn it? Because the angles we got on TV, one, watching that on TV live where they didn't even show the play, you just hear the announcers, oh, we caught it.
Yeah, dude. I was watching it in a restaurant on me and my dad were watching on my dad's phone. Like going nuts. And then we replayed it. And it's like, what? How is that not a catch?
Yeah, seriously. Because they didn't show a lick of the play downfield. They kept the camera on Padilla.
Yeah.
I hate when that game's on BTN.
That was a hell of a throw. Run.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so easy to dump it off. Yeah, made something happen there. That was a bummer. Spence got hurt. DeJean got hurt. Hopefully he's good. But bowl game will be interesting now that Padilla is in the portal because that means he's not playing for us that game.
I didn't even think about that. I mean,
it's Labus time.
If Spence still hurt, if something, I don't know what's going on with Spence, but that might be nuts.
Yeah, it might be Labus time for that one.
That's wild.
So practice will probably be interesting next couple of weeks. I mean, Spence for sure won't be practicing.
Who the hell is our backup? Who's our fourth string?
Carson May. Freshman.
That's right. Freshman. Okay.
Out of Oklahoma.
He's going to be ripping twos.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's crazy. And Keegan will probably be healthy by then too.
He
actually got in a couple plays. He was in that last play.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I mean, good to see him back out there.
Oh yeah, we need it. We need
Guy's a weapon.
Good to see. What is Nico now in the record book?
I don't know. He's close, dude. I think he has 123 receptions. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, he has 123 receptions. I got to go to the record books. I got a whole lot of records, though, I got some stats for when we talk about seniors later.
Okay, good.
It's nuts what this senior class has done, but also to see who isn't up on the record boards. But the portal, Cade McNamara, that's got a lot of buzz right now.
A lot of buzz. I mean, it's kind of wild how there's so much buzz on it and he hasn't said a word.
Yeah.
There's so much, and that's why Twitter is such a sinkhole sometimes. There's so much speculation. Maybe he does come to Iowa, but if he doesn't, I guarantee you he didn't think about it at all. Everyone's saying Iowa would be a great spot. If he does not come to Iowa, I will put money on it that he didn't think about Iowa 1 second in his brain.
The crazy thing is it was all the check marks.
Yeah.
It wasn't even Iowa media. It was national media.
We're he'd be a great fit. Thinking about it now, it's what?
For what reason? Yeah.
What did he do at Michigan that would make it seem like he'd be a good fit at Iowa?
Yeah, I'm more thinking for himself, why is that a good fit? But I guess the other schools that are being floated around are like Charlotte. Like they aren't that big name of schools.
I heard Notre Dame's the other one.
Yeah. I mean, Notre Dame is
Which that
like
makes sense.
Cone transferred out of Wisconsin and went to Notre Dame. And yeah, they have a very funny offense, but yeah, I mean, I feel like that'd be a good fit there.
Yeah.
I have a hot take though.
Hit it.
So McNamara, yes, he was benched. JJ McCarthy's a stud. Has he made a lot of throws this year, JJ? No. Besides the Ohio State game, like wow, what a game
he went sick. Ohio State game.
Yeah. But like the deep ball, JJ missed all season. He missed a few against Iowa, where he could have put the game away early. Also, not many people know this. Cade McNamara just had like major knee surgery. He posted that on his Instagram. So the one question that will be when he transfers is when is his recovery time? As a transfer, you probably won't have much chemistry with your receivers coming in. When is your first snap of football going to be? And is Iowa an easy offense to learn? I mean, even Brady Ross, when he came on, hey, it's super complicated offense. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it'd be very tough to be thrown into the fire of taking in a transfer fresh off a major knee surgery, and then also he's never played football with anyone on that field.
Well, not only did he have knee surgery, I saw in his Instagram post like that the doctors screwed up the like surgery or something like that, and now like the recovery time's worse.
Really?
Let me show. Yeah, I literally saw it this morning. It was like the doctors. It was like a worse knee injury than they thought it'd be. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out I've been dealing with a serious injury since the middle of last season. And he said, sadly, I was unable to heal properly. So now he said that him and the doctor,
that's why he needed surgery.
Yeah. So I guess it didn't heal well, and he busted even more. So I mean, who knows how bad it's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let me tell you, this off season is going to either make or break Iowa for the next like 5 years.
Seriously,
because they
I
can
hope
either moves, get some guys into the transfer portal, or get some good recruitment going.
Mm-hmm.
It is still a young team, I guess. We're going to lose a lot of guys though. It's gonna be. I mean, the defense is always going to be great just because of Coach Parker, but
the receiver room, I think, will be the most interesting to see who, if, where we lose people.
Yeah.
But also, everywhere else is kind of like a defense is good for next year. We have a lot of guys coming back off injury. But offense, it's like you need line, running back, we're good. Maybe go after a quarterback. We'll see what happens this offseason. But like, is Cade the answer? I don't know. I mean, we talked about his injury, but the receiver room will probably be the make or break part.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I still don't know a decent amount of guys in there. It'll be interesting. I don't know how some of the guys are going to respond to how the season went. Hopefully positive, and that they'll want to stay and get something going. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to depend on who's staying, who's leaving, on the offense wise. I mean, there's just so many things that can happen after this. There definitely is some changes. It seems there needs to be some changes to be made, just to spice it up, or who knows? I don't know. There's so many things, so many moving parts that need to be corrected within the offense that need to get that side of the ball moving forward in a faster, just faster in general to success. And it's just this season, even though they did turn it around, the reason why they turned it around is they just stopped making mistakes, which was huge, especially with the defense we had. But like at the end of the day, you have to be able to consistently score the ball and not have it be a problem where you go into every game and you're like, we'll see if we're gonna have a touchdown or not.
Definitely. I think it's going to be funny because coming into the offseason, like we're talking about the transfer portal right now. I don't think we're going to know too many of the we might know a couple soon, but I think majority of the decisions are going to be made after seeing how the coaching rooms are shaken up.
Yeah. Well, that's like, and again, that's why I'm saying we need to get the offense forward faster. But like you said, I mean, realistically, if you're a transfer coming into the portal, are you looking at offense or Iowa's offense and saying this is an offense I could succeed in? Like I could see myself like developing in. And I mean, based off this year, I'd say no. Like if transfer, I'd like look at it and be like, no. But I mean, again, I'm sure there's going to be some changes made just because the offense didn't perform how they were hoping they perform this year.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in the portal is go after some linemen.
Yeah. The problem with that is it sucks because Iowa does such a great job of developing offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And that's why our O linemen are so good, is because they develop in the program. They're not just picked up. Like if you think about it, all the great O linemen in Iowa aren't transfers. And I know this is the transfer portal era, and it could change, but every great Iowa lineman came in as a kid who just didn't really know what they were doing, and then like developed into just a freak of an athlete because they knew how to hone their skills and just polish and become an unbelievable NFL talented lineman. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of buzz around the O line for the transfer portals and stuff like that, and Proctor coming in. But at the end of the day, I mean, it just the guys who I think Logan Jones is going to be a beast next year. A beast. It was his first year playing O line. He did a great job at it. There's the other guys, had their rough patches, and I'm sure they realize that. But if they can realize, I'm saying realize a lot, but if they can take what they didn't do great this season, hone in on it, work on it, and then come back next season with better skills, better fundamentals, and just have more confidence, then it could be a completely different O-line next year.
Definitely. I think shaking anything up, whether it's simplifying, I know there's like a lot of zone blocking as well in that system. I mean, if they shake up anything on the offensive end coach wise, like it could look a lot different, a lot more simplified. So I think that like maybe there's a lot of talent on that line, but it's just times have evolved where that zone blocking doesn't work as well. I don't know, but I think change might be good, and it'll be interesting to see how they take that in the building after the bowl game.
Yeah, definitely.
Who was the O-line transfer? He came in from Indiana. Was it Coy Cronk?
Coy Cronk. He's a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the one that stands out. He was banged up a little bit during his time at Iowa, but
he was injured for a little bit, but he was a beast.
I think he's on the Jags now.
Yeah, I think he is. Playing. Yeah, he's the only transfer I can really think of that like had an impact on the team.
O-line wise, yeah.
O-line wise, yeah.
That will be interesting. You look at the defense coming back, though, dude.
Okay, so who's all for sure coming back? I mean, DeJean.
So, for sure, I'm here. Well, all right. So when Justin went down, Wallace was like, "We expect him back." So I assume that means he's come back for another year of development. So that means
Seth and Jack are gone, right?
Jack is probably for sure gone. Seth, I think, is like probably gone, but it's not like for sure one way or another. I think he's like 99%. I don't know. But
See,
yes,
that's the thing with those two guys is like you never know. Like
dude.
they are Iowa guys to die.
Yeah.
Like they will die for Iowa.
Yes.
And like they may have had a hell of a season, but like they're the type of guys who are like, we had a great season, but we could come back and have a better season.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, I love that. That's why I love those two guys.
Jack last year could have gone top 3 rounds, and he was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah,
I love this place.
How great is he?
He's a senior. They all just went their senior day.
Okay. Gotcha.
My other thing with Seth that I wonder is, so Campbell in the post-game press conferences, he got emotional because they were asking him like last time coming off the field. So he's gone. He was getting emotional because that was his last time. But Jack Campbell.
Okay.
Yep. Also, shout out Defensive Player of the Year for the Big Ten and all first team.
Well deserved.
My only thing with Seth is I wonder if he would want to come back and kind of be the guy. Like Jack was kind of the guy this year.
Well, the interesting thing would be him and Justin.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a hell of a combo.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is it's going to be kind of how it was at the beginning of the season because Jamari will be back.
Yeah, that's huge.
Terry, it seemed like he was coming back based on his Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't see what he was saying on Twitter, but hopefully he is. I mean, I don't even know what injuries these guys are dealing with, but there is some nagging injuries out there that are tough. Like if it's like soft tissue or who knows, but that's a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Well, but then if they're back, then you get Coop at either a cash spot. I mean, Coop could play anywhere on the field.
Yeah,
Kayvon's gone, so X will go to safety.
Castro will stay probably.
Yep.
Quinn Schulte.
It sounded like Van Ness wants to stay, even though his draft stock is so high.
I mean, realistically, dude, if he stayed one more year, I bet you they could freaking polish him up and he'd be
first round.
Yeah.
He's projected second to third right now.
I mean, he's just a mammoth of a human.
He's so strong and so good at football.
Yeah.
I wonder, Joe Evans won't come. He's our age, right?
No, Joe is younger than us. Joe is
think
younger.
He'll come back?
I don't know. That's a good question. So that's what I don't know. That's another thing is like I think a lot of guys in the defense say if they are on the fence, if certain people stay, I bet you they'll stay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, shit, if Seth stays.
Well, that was like this year. Moss, Campbell, Benson, Kayvon, all those guys were like, I'm coming back. Kerner was really the only one who left from last season. And Van Valkenburg.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. Who knows, dude? It's going to be very interesting. I hope they get the fucking Mayo Bowl. So
just go see him. Yeah, that could be a badass defense, though. Yeah, and then, I don't know. I'm a Petrus guy, so I want him back. People are going to be upset that I said that.
Hey, we're Petrus Pod, baby.
Yeah.
But we are. If Spence can't go, we are Labus Pod.
Yeah, we're a Labus Pod then.
We are Labus Pod.
Or whoever transfers, they will be forced with a decision to either come on the show or will be a Labus Pod only.
Giddy up. Yep.
Giddy up. College football playoff, or you still got Iowa stuff?
Let's say that for last. Let's talk about the stats because we just basically went through like the whole senior class.
That's true. Senior class, Yeah, so there were 27 of them who just went through senior day. That's a ton. You played with a lot of these guys, so
I played with all of them.
Yeah, that's true, all of them. So feel free to chime in with any stories, but stats that stood out. Spencer is currently 10th on Iowa's all-time career passing list. If he came back, he could possibly be top. He would for sure probably be top 5. Could possibly be top 3 if he came back.
That's wild, actually. That's wild.
That's crazy. But what sticks out, he was a quarterback for Iowa's highest ranking under Kirk. We were number 2. And shout out to him and Nico. Nico's also a senior. I think that was the coolest play in Kinnick Stadium history.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I haven't even been a Hawkeye. I was a Hawkeye fan when I became a freshman in college, playing for them. Before that, I wasn't at all. And I mean, that was the coolest play I've ever seen in my life. It means so much more when you know the guy and when you are playing against the number 3 team in the country. And we were 4, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 versus 4.
It was and lose all the seniors that came into our class. We had lost to Penn State our freshman year on the last play of the game, and that was going to be the coolest thing ever. And then we had that game, and that was, that is the coolest moment I will ever experience in Kinnick Stadium ever.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
That whole night.
Everything about it, dude. We were the sideline. Just I've never seen a reaction out of fans. The sideline. Everyone was screaming, jumping. It was just the coolest thing I've ever witnessed in my life.
That was awesome. That video will live on forever. Gus Johnson's call on that.
Forever.
Awesome. Terry Roberts, GOAT of special teams. He was awesome. Joe Evans has 18 career sacks, 13 in the last 2 years. It's quite a bit.
That ain't bad.
We got 7 or 8 D linemen right now rotating in and out, and he's got 13 in the last 2 seasons.
Elite.
And then Campbell, obviously Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, first team All Big Ten, 289 career tackles, 5 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles. The Minnesota game probably put a stamp on his legacy.
Yeah. That was a pick 6.
That was a pick. He was not out of bounds.
That was the worst call I've ever seen. The worst call ever, refs. Get it together. Dude, yeah, that was.
Benson's not far behind. He had 247 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 picks in his career.
Dude, it is wild. Seth does get overlooked with having Jack there.
Well,
Seth has made some freaking plays, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if he comes back and just wants to be the man one year.
You never know.
He is such a good talent.
He's probably really thinking about it. Yeah. That's got to be a tough decision for him.
Another game that stands out for the linebackers is South Dakota State.
Yeah, they went crazy.
2 safeties, and they just could not move the ball.
That was nuts.
Moss, 11 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 2, and then this year alone he has 2 forced fumbles and 10 passes defended.
Dude, Moss last year was on record to have arguably the best season you could have had arguably better than Josh Jackson's year.
Mm-hmm.
He was on track to be insane.
That was the only bad thing about that Penn State game.
Yeah, he busted his freaking was his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was tough.
My favorite memory of him was the Indiana game.
That was that. I mean, dude, that game. That was the first game after COVID. That was like one of the most hyped games ever.
And it was against Penix, who was like a Heisman contender. I mean, he's going nuts this year.
He's going crazy at Washington.
My goodness.
Yeah, he just couldn't get done at Indiana.
And he plays Moss once and throws 2 pick sixes to him.
That was so sick. So freaking sick, dude. Our Moss, the dirt man.
Yeah. Friend of the pod.
Big time.
And then Laporta, 148 receptions. That's 6th all time for a skill position. So that's receivers and tight ends and running backs, I guess. There weren't any running backs on there.
Dude, I mean that'd be awesome if you won the Mackey Award.
Yeah, it would. I think he'll get 3rd place.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, especially because he just got injured. Especially like not being able to play in that last game, that's a bummer for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he had such a good season. It is tough to compete with Bowers and Myers right now.
Bowers is it is tough. I'm serious. I think Bowers might be one of the dude, I'd put him up there as right now the greatest college football player I've ever seen. Like,
wow.
He's doing things as a tight end that skill position guys aren't doing, and then he's just like pummeling kids.
That's a hot take.
Maybe not the
Tebow, Cam Newton that 1 year, Joe Burrow that 1 year.
Plus, Cam Newton did go crazy.
It
is a hot take. I'm gonna say for sure top 5.
Myers catch.
Actually,
last week or 2 weeks ago.
I think Bowers. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's unbelievable. He can do it all. Like he literally can do it all.
Either way, those are 3 NFL like superstars in the making. All 3 on that finalist list.
We are tight end U, but
yep.
the tight end room at Georgia right now is just absurd.
Someone tried saying Notre Dame is becoming tight end U.
Dude,
it's like we're also adding a tight end, and they're saying that because of Cole Kmet. Dude, we have Kittle, Hogg, fan.
Yeah, dude. Every tight end we have right now is good. Like they're all good.
They're all they're balling right now. Even Hesse has had a couple touchdowns this year.
Yeah. Parker wasn't a tight end. Parker was
at Iowa. Yeah,
he's a freaking D lineman.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then the last one that stood out, Kayvon this year has had 3 picks, a forced fumble recovery for a touchdown all this year. So he's been balling as a safety this year.
Friend of the pod, the man.
Right? Yeah, he's a hell of a guy. And then Nico, 123 receptions. That's the one I got to look up. Because if he does come back, there are people who still have eligibility left, and he's one of them. Spencer's one of them who might come back. Benson, maybe. Maybe we're just convincing ourselves. But let's see. So he has 123. Yeah, I mean, honestly, he could get up to number 4.
That is wild.
Kevin Casper has 157. Yeah, he would easily. Dude, he could get to number 1 if he wanted to. You need 51 receptions.
Like, I would say at any other school that is beyond realistic. But it just the amount of times we're passing is just not going to cut it if he wants to make there. But hey, you never know. There could be a change.
Yeah.
You never freaking
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
He could just pass the shit out of it next year. Who knows?
well, if he played a full season, he had 32 receptions this season. If he played a full season, he's in the 40s. And that's in a down year of passing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's change. He could be the all-time leader if he comes back.
He could, dude.
It's crazy. All right, you want to talk some college football playoff?
Yeah, I do. I still think no team's going to beat Georgia. Is Bama for sure out?
I think so. So they came in at 6 today.
Did they beat LSU this year? No, they lost to LSU.
They lost to LSU. They lost to Tennessee. So I don't know how. I don't know. I hate how LSU was 5 last week with 2 losses, a home loss by 30 points.
LSU,
outrageous.
I knew they're kind of they're a fraud. LSU is a fraud. Georgia's nasty.
Yeah.
I forgot who I was talking about this. Like Bama has a very down year this year. You throw Bama in the playoff, I bet you they make it to the national championship against Georgia.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they play.
Maybe Michigan beats them.
Michigan's tough.
Michigan's good this year.
Which I hate to say, but they're really tough. They're
beatable.
They are beatable, but they look very, very good. They're not the Michigan they were last year. But Corum's playing better than he did last year. Their defense is solid. That backup running back, is it Donovan Edwards?
Yep, Donovan Edwards.
He's sick, dude. He's sick. Cornelius Edwards, no, not Cornelius Edwards. Cornelius Johnson is sick. McCarthy just makes plays, dude. If
he can make throws, he can make plays with his feet. If he can hit people on the money, they're like almost unbeatable. It's just so inconsistent with them.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you're any team playing him, you got to try and make him throw.
Mm-hmm.
Can't rely on them running the ball because their offensive line's really good and their running backs are fantastic this year. I hate to say it, Ohio State's defense still sucks. Like they need to figure shit out because they're not the Ohio State they used to be. I miss the old Ohio State, when they had Zeke and they had they had Okuda, they had Bosa, like they used to be the shiz, and now they're trash on defense. And it's just a weakness. If J.J. McCarthy, who is not that good of a passer, is just dicing your defense, that's just not a good look.
No.
Like it is Michigan, and I will say the Big Ten has a very, very down year this year. Michigan, by far the best team in the Big Ten. And also, Stroud, don't know what he was doing. Like Stroud can make plays on his feet. He can scramble, and he just wasn't doing that at all. Like he wasn't running. He wasn't trying to make plays with his feet. Marvin Harrison Jr. is one of the best receivers I've ever seen in my life. And he's sick.
They had no idea what to do losing a ball game.
No idea. I mean, they just gave up.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked bad. It was a bad
fourth
game.
quarter was tough, man.
Michigan is good, though. Who's Michigan projected to play right now?
They would play TCU as of right now.
See, I
If
think Michigan,
everyone wins their conference title game, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC, it would go in that order, most likely. That's what it is today.
who's USC playing?
USC plays Utah.
I can see USC.
So
I can see them
if
losing.
if TCU or USC, yeah, if TCU or USC loses, I think Ohio State gets in. Ohio State is currently 5th, and I also think they deserve it.
You think?
If one of those teams loses, yes. I think TCU is terrible. The Big 12 sucks this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time,
Who's good in the Big 12?
I think Kansas State.
They are good, and that's why I think they're going to beat TCU.
Is that who? Is it
Martinez.
TCU? Is it TCU versus
Yeah.
Kansas State? They got
Dallas.
Julius Brandt's beast. That is it. Deuce Vaughn, their running back, nasty. They're just and they're kind of they have wicked momentum going into this game. I think that's gonna be fun. I think this weekend is gonna be a really fun conference championship weekend. And I'm telling you, it's a long shot. But I think Purdue could beat Michigan.
Purdue against ranked teams this year has been incredible. I think besides Penn State week 1, they're undefeated against ranked teams.
Dude, here's my theory why. Purdue has the balls to run some just whack stuff.
Yep.
And especially when they have Chuck. I think this is going to be a game where they almost use Chuck as a decoy. I think they're going to be they have that Sheffield kid who's really good. Tyrone's good. Payne Durham's solid. Aiden's a beast at quarterback. If you use Chuck, I don't know how the best way to use him against Michigan because they got some dudes. But
only thing I got to stop you on there, it's going to be tough to change any game plans or run trick plays. Aiden, RIP to his brother, very sad story. But he's been home all week, so he hasn't been able to practice.
That's fair. Well, I'm sure they're shooting him play stuff. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about Aiden. Aiden seems like a pretty sharp kid.
But dude, I mean, that's Purdue's issue is I think Michigan could score 100 on them.
Their
defense.
That was my counterpoint. Their defense is trash.
Sucks. That's why I texted in the group chat with Chuck. It's like they're gonna hang 100 on you, but like you're gonna have to score at least 2 touchdowns.
You guys better score 101 because
yeah,
game, dude.
They're gonna hang 100 on them,
dude. They have this one DB they were talking about. I think he's number 0, and this is I'm talking about Michigan. Mm-hmm. It's like Saint. I don't know, but he's a converted receiver. He's the guy who made that play on the tight end against Ohio State, a wide open touchdown, and he popped it out of his hands. The dude's kind of sick. He's kind of raw, and he's gonna be tough, dude. I don't know though. I think Chuck could. At the same time, they could use him as a decoy.
Purdue's so dynamic.
Or they could really just get him involved and fuck Michigan's DBs up.
Yeah.
Chuck's got a different level, dude. I think he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. He's been playing with a chip on his shoulder this whole season. Going into this game, he was there when we lost to Michigan last year, playing for Iowa. He knows what the environment's like. We just didn't give him the ball, and it was tough. He's gonna get the ball. Michigan's gonna have to guard him. If they don't, he's gonna make plays, and it's gonna be an interesting game. But I don't know, dude. I'm just anything can happen, and I freaking love it. That's why I love college.
I think North Carolina beats Clemson. Purdue could make it close if they're humming on offense. I think Purdue could win. I'm gonna bet it.
That's what I'm saying though. Is like
Michigan.
And I hate to say this, like realistically, this is not going to sound very, very. I don't even know what the right word would be. A good fan thing to say. Iowa goes in the Big Ten championship. We would have got our asses kicked. Arguably worse than last year. Because if you think about it, I mean, they didn't throw a lot of touchdown passes. They were just freaking. I mean, they threw that one trick play pass, but dude, I don't know. I
think our defense could have hung with them though.
Yeah, but
Purdue's defense is so bad, it's insane.
Okay, but here's what you got to think about. Purdue's defense sucks. Purdue's offense is great.
We put Purdue's defense in a blender.
Purdue's offense is good. Purdue's defense sucks.
Yep.
Our offense ain't great. Our defense is amazing. Would we have scored enough points to beat Michigan? Realistically.
I think Moss has 2 picks, 2 pick sixes. We go and win that ball game.
Also now, would Coop be playing? You take Coop out of the situation, it's tough. It's going to be tough. I don't know why we're talking about that. That was my fault. Shouldn't. Honestly, I'd love it if you cut that because that was just unnecessary reason. There's no reason for me to bring Iowa into that.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping the whole thing.
Please don't, because I love Iowa to death. I just think it would have been tough. I don't know, dude. I will say that. Okay. Off that whole rant, out of the 3 teams that had a chance to make it to the Big Ten title game, I think the best team that has a chance to beat Michigan is Purdue.
They just got to show up. They got to show up.
But out of those 3 teams, whoever's offense is humming the most, Purdue's has the ability to hum the most and the longest. I am talking out of my ass right now. I don't know what the hell. I'm extremely tired.
That's all right. We can wrap up. I will say, though, Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman.
He is sick.
A statement game. I think they win. TCU loses. TCU gets kicked. They go to the Rose Bowl, play against Penn State. Yeah, Penn State. And then Ohio State gets in.
Rod this year.
Penn State's terrible. They're terrible. You look at the East this year, and they had 2 teams. The rest of them are so bad. Like, I think we would have beat Penn State this year. Maryland, 100%. Terrible. Indiana, terrible. Michigan State, what a joke of a hire that was for Mel Tucker. That's the worst
program.
Yep. Mel Tucker might be the worst coach in America.
He sucks, dude.
He's so bad. We've talked about this. How
dudes just assault a Michigan player.
No discipline. His one good year, he got 3 real good grad transfers, all in the NFL now, and that's why they're good for 1 year.
Yeah.
All right, that was my other thing on Ryan Day. I've always thought he was a fraud because his good year, where he went to play, or like when he won a playoff game, that was with all of Urban's players. And now, like, people went to Ohio State under Urban because they would win. People go to Ohio State now because they like Ryan Day. That's cool and all, but he's like, I don't think he's a winner. He won with Urban's guys. He can't recruit dogs now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, Mel Tucker sucks.
Sucks, dude. Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald sucks.
He's got such a roller coaster though. When we were in college, they were the worst team in the West, won the West, worst team in the West, won the West. or it was flip-flopped where they started winning the West. But they won the West every other year when I was in college, and they were the worst team in the West the other two. It was the craziest roller coaster.
Who knows? I mean, there really was only 2 good teams in the Big Ten this year. 2 legit teams, and that's Ohio State's not that legit. Grant, they also have Smith and Jigba, which is a humongous loss. But Marvin, imagine if they had Marvin
He didn't
Harrison.
play all year though. Oh,
I know, but
that's what you're saying.
If they had both those guys on the field at the same time, they would have been unstoppable on offense. Like unstoppable.
Yeah. Also, Keegan Murray just got a double-double with 16 minutes into the game. Double-double. Chris Murray,
baby.
I love it. All right. Well, let's wrap up. Big episode next week. Everyone keep your eyes out on that.
We got a big guest coming.
Big guest. Actually, December is probably going to be a giant month of guests.
Yep.
There's another big one a recurring guest, hasn't been on since the season started. And then another one who is both close friends of ours, both in Lunch Pail guys.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Big episode.